Denmark was stunned by a chilling crime. Mia, a promising nursing student, vanished after a night out in Aalborg. Join us as we uncover the tragic events that unfolded and explore the shocking revelations about Thomas Thompson, the man accused in Mia's disappearance and murder. This is a story that shook a nation, revealing dark secrets and sparking demands for justice. Stay tuned to learn more. Ane lies, a crime that shocked the nation of Denmark, a country renowned for its peace and low crime rate. February 5, 2022, the first weekend since COVID-19 restrictions were lifted. Mia and her friends were thrilled to go out and party. Mia had just finished her second semester in nursing school and was eager to socialize. That night marked the beginning of the end of the pandemic. But for Mia, it would soon take a darker turn. It was a freezing night in Aalborg, but Mia dressed for the indoor bars and clubs, wearing a black top, black pants, white sneakers, and carrying a black purse. She looked like any other university student ready for a night out. Mia and her friends headed to Denmark's largest party street in Aalborg. Hopping from bar to bar, they ended up at Hattie's beer bar, where Mia danced and drank before moving to Club Wolf, their final stop. By 6 a.m., the club was closing. Mia, slightly drunk and still full of energy, danced with strangers and hugged new friends. Her friends assumed she would take the bus home as they went their separate ways. 13 hours later, Mia's family was worried. They hadn't heard from her all day. Her boyfriend hadn't either, which was unusual because Mia was always responsible and kept them informed of her plans. Her parents filed a missing persons report with the North Jutland Police Department and also turned to Facebook for help. The community rallied, sharing posts to help find Mia. Despite Denmark's low crime rate, the police took no chances and launched a massive investigation. They asked the public for any photos or videos from that morning. Nearly 400 tips came in, and the police began the painstaking task of reviewing hours of footage. Mia was a typical 22-year-old with no criminal history. Born on September 19, 1999, she attended Vasa Tamalan's Gymnasium and later pursued nursing at the University of Applied Sciences UC in Aalborg. By February 7, 2022, 26 hours had passed since Mia was last seen. The police appealed again to the public for any information on her whereabouts. A breakthrough came from CCTV footage showing Mia at a bus stop at Vester Brigade 99 at 6:09 a.m. On Sunday, February 6. A black car stopped nearby, and after a brief conversation, Mia got in. The next bus wasn't due until 7:35 a.m., and it was a cold morning. The footage was concerning as the driver approached Mia first. Her friends and parents said it was out of character for her to get into a stranger's car. The police speculated that the driver might have offered Mia a ride as an illegal taxi, a common practice in the area. However, they couldn't clearly identify the car's license plate and appealed to the public again. By February 8, the police had identified the sequence of events leading to Mia getting into the car. They traced the license plate to several addresses and found a 2015 Volkswagen Golf matching the CCTV footage at one of the locations. Although Mia hadn't been found yet, a major breakthrough led to the arrest of two men. These men, childhood friends known to authorities for petty crimes, were linked to the vehicle's license plate and brought under suspicion. They had a history of impersonating police officers at a soccer game. The men denied any involvement, but the evidence against them was strong. Within 24 hours, they were brought to a constitutional hearing in Denmark. This preliminary court session, held soon after an arrest, allows a judge to review the evidence and decide whether to keep the suspects in custody. The process protects the rights of the accused while ensuring public safety. 4 days after Mia's disappearance, the Aalborg District Court held a private hearing. One of the men was released, but the other, a 36-year-old named Thomas Thompson, remained in custody. Thompson, an electrician, was described as polite, charming, and disciplined. He was a sergeant in the armed forces and had practiced judo since his youth. The black Volkswagen was registered to him, making him the likely driver who picked up Mia. The police traced his movements using his car's GPS system, which had been turned off for hours before Mia was picked up. However, the forensic team retrieved much of his route. The investigation focused on his route and residences. At one location, police dogs found Mia's keys, an elastic hairband, and 2 breast patches. These items were scattered, indicating she might have been running. In a forest near the village of Faceless, police found shallow holes containing dismembered human remains. These remains were later confirmed to be Mia's, and the cause of death was determined to be strangulation. The body had been dismembered with an electric saw, a hobby knife, and scissors. Thomas turned off his car's GPS at 2:14 a.m. on February 6, planning to avoid tracking. However, due to a technical error, the GPS still logged its position every 15 seconds. He claimed he turned it off to avoid a police officer who allegedly harassed him. The GPS was turned back on at 9:23 a.m. Thomas stated he saw Mia at the bus stop, noted how cold it was, and offered her a ride, which she accepted. He claimed they drove to a training ground at Camp Hammerbacka, where they mutually agreed to have sex. According to him, Mia became angry when she learned he was a sergeant, and during a struggle, she accidentally fell and twisted her neck. He panicked, took her body home, and dismembered her. The police rejected his account, believing Mia had been chased, overpowered, raped, suffocated, and mutilated. They found her belongings scattered along a forest road, indicating she had fought for her life. Evidence suggested Thomas committed the crime to fulfill deviant sexual gratification and power. DNA from Mia was found on the door handle to Thomas's bedroom, confirming she had been dismembered at his home. Thomas continued his normal life while dismembering Mia's body over several days. He bought pizza, went to work, and texted friends as if nothing had happened. The police and community were devastated, and the investigation continued to ensure justice for Mia. If Thomas Thompson was shocked by Mia's death, he certainly didn't show it. He acted pleased, as if he had gotten away with murder. According to prosecutors, he believed he had. But who was Thomas Thompson? During the trial, his shocking history came to light. Born on June 18, 1985, Thompson grew up in a small town called Faceless. Raised in stable conditions without violence, he eventually made a career in the military before training as an electrician. Those who knew him described him as a loner. In 2009, Thompson was convicted of being a peeping Tom after leaving semen at a girl's window in Frederikshavn. He would knock on windows and masturbate. DNA evidence tied him to an old assault case involving a sleeping woman in Aalborg in 2010. The statute of limitations prevented prosecution, but the connections between the cases were made due to advances in DNA technology. Testimonies from Thompson's ex-girlfriends painted a disturbing picture. They described him as charming and polite at first, but he quickly became controlling, arrogant, and manipulative. One woman testified that he tied her naked to a radiator against her will. Another reported that her brake pipes were cut after she broke up with him, a crime Thompson was convicted of in 2010. Thompson pleaded not guilty to rape and manslaughter, admitting only to indecent handling of a corpse. The court couldn't find sufficient evidence to prove rape, thus finding him guilty of attempted rape instead. In June 2023, he was convicted of murdering Mia and was sentenced to custody due to his high risk of repeating violent and immoral crimes. Despite this, Thompson appealed his conviction, hoping for a lighter sentence or acquittal. Mia's parents bravely thanked the community for their support, urging everyone to live courageously despite the tragedy. The case led to increased calls for more surveillance cameras and the establishment of the Safe House initiative to ensure the safety of young people traveling home. As the trial continues and the community seeks closure, Mia's story remains a poignant reminder of the need for vigilance and support for victims of violence. Join us as we follow this case and others like it, shedding light on the pursuit of justice and the resilience of those affected. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for updates on this and other compelling cases. Thank you for watching.